Hello, good morning, and welcome to the 11 a.m. session of Life as a UIC Liberal Arts and Sciences student. We have a wonderful panel today of student leaders that are really excited to share with you about their experiences here at UIC. My name is Liz Ramirez, and I am the Assistant Director of Recruitment and Engagement here in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. I'll let my colleague Priscilla introduce herself, and then the students will introduce themselves and tell you a little bit more about themselves.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Priscilla Gonzalez Ortiz, and I am the college recruiter for the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences at UIC. I'm actually very excited and happy that all of you are here to learn more about UIC. And I apologize, I am having some camera issues, but we're very excited to see you and hear from our students. And if we could start, we could have our first student, Paulash, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Paulash. I just started my junior year at UIC. I'm a biological sciences major and I'm minoring in chemistry. I have been an orientation leader at UIC in the past, and now I work with the College of LAS, which is Liberal Arts and Sciences. And I'm looking forward to this webinar, and I hope to answer all your questions.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn Bravo. I'm a fifth-year senior at UIC. I'm a major in economics, a minor in business administration, sociology, and math. And this year I am working as a LAS recruitment team leader, but have worked previously for the Latin American Recruitment and Educational Services program as a telecounselor, as well as a research assistant under the Department of Psychology, and have interned for the National Democratic Training Committee.
Hello, everyone. My name is Renine. I'm currently a sophomore biological sciences major at UIC, and I'm also minor in entrepreneurship. On campus, I am part of the pre-health mentor network, which couples college students and high school seniors going into pre-health, and I'm also a McGraw-Hill student ambassador, and I'm looking forward to today's session.
Hi everybody, my name is Jackie Salgado. I am currently a sophomore at UIC. I am studying political science and public policy with a minor in psychology. I work with the LAS recruitment leader team, and I also work on campus at the ID Center, and I am part of the Student Advocacy Coalition as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for introducing yourselves. I do want to let our guests know that we do have a chat and a Q&A session. So feel free to ask any questions that you may want an answer to. We are here to hopefully answer all of your questions that you have about UIC. We have a few questions that we would like to cover, but first and foremost, we're here to answer any questions that you may have. So I'm just going to get started by asking our students why they chose to attend UIC. What makes UIC unique compared to the other schools that you were looking at?
Right. So, so the main reason I chose UIC for my undergrad degree, it was simply because of the quality of education I receive here at a very reasonable price. Along with that, did I mention I'm an international student, and I just love the diversity here. The environment and UIC, it just makes me feel very comfortable. And although I'm far away from my home and family, but I never really miss my home because UIC is just like my home away from home.
I agree that the number one reason why I came to UIC is that we get a quality education for affordable price. Another reason is the location. We are about a 10-minute train ride from downtown Chicago, and we are surrounded by great neighborhoods like Little Italy, West Loop, and Greektown. So having access to all those places, we have access to really great opportunities in internships, fellowships, and on and off campus jobs.
I decided to attend UIC because I currently live in the suburbs of Chicago, so it was very close to home, and it allowed me to commute to college and come back home every day without it being too far. The location is also really nice because after class you can go downtown and I guess kind of explore with your friends and seeing what downtown is like. And the education here is extremely good, and UIC also has a bunch of resources for students, which I really liked as well.
I chose UIC like many other people because it is close to my family, and I'm a very close to my family. Also, like Jocelyn did mention, the location. I feel like it is really easy to keep like your internships or keep your jobs that are downtown and still be able to go to school and be involved with whatever you wanted to be involved in. I also do love the diversity and how many and like how Palash said, like you kind of feel like you find a family here, like in anything that you're interested in, because there is so many groups, so many resources that UIC gives students that you can find anything.
Great. Thank you so much for letting us know why you were interested in UIC. My next question has to do more with your major or career decision that you made. So we know that UIC offers more than 40 majors and minors, and we offer more than 1,000 classes. We are the largest college at UIC. And so I want to hear a bit about how you got to choose a major that you currently have declared. And please feel free to add your minors in there as well. Go ahead, Paula.
Okay, yeah. So I said I'm a biological sciences major. Initially, I did not declare a minor, but now I am doing a chemistry minor. My advisor, she saw that I've been doing. I did some few, gen ed chemistry classes, and she saw I did really well in those. So she suggested me that I feel that you have been doing great in chemistry, and although I'm a biological sciences major, I'm not on pre-med track. I want to go into research, and she recommended that if I want to go into research, doing an additional minor in chemistry would really, help my case. So it just, now I'm a chemistry minor. Never really thought that I would be a chemistry minor. I don't really even have to take many classes for that. Just two extra classes, and yeah, I would end up with a minor degree. So my advisor really helped me. That's it.
Great, thank you so much, Jackie. I know that you have a couple of minors. Do you want to talk about, or even your major as well? Did you know you want to do political science when you came in? Walk us through your journey.
Yeah, so actually I am seeking the dual degree, so I'm currently in two different colleges. But coming in, I definitely knew I wanted to focus on something like political sciencey, like I really wanted to go into law or things like that. And like I actually came in as a criminology law and justice major, but like I spoke to some advisors and we kind of like walked through what I wanted to do with my life. And they were like, so if you kind of want to do this, then it's like more attainable and it's easier for you to just go into this. It'll help you more in the long run. So then I decided to go to political science, and then I also spoke to my political science advisor because you get that when you like declare the major. And then we like talked about what class I wanted to, and I took a gen ed in public policy, and I liked it, and I did good in it. And then she like was like, okay, well, if you want to do that, that kind of helps you with the political science aspect of things, so you can do both. And then she like helped me walk through the process of how to do a dual degree, how to enroll in the other college, how to like maintain in this college, and things like that. So yeah, your advisors really help you out with that.
Awesome. And I don't know if Jocelyn or Renine, since we were talking about advising, do you have any experience, positive experiences with your advisors, or anything you want to share about the way advising works at UIC?
Yeah, so last year when I was talking to my advisor for my first year advising session, I am like the type of person that kind of just does a lot at once, and I like to overload myself. And I expressed to my advisor that I wanted to take a couple pretty tough classes together. However, after reaching out to not only just discussing it with her, I also reached out to the biological sciences advisors and a couple, other advisors. We kind of just concluded that that class could hold off until a couple years. So advising is, it's not even just talking just to one. Each student has multiple advisors and they all serve different purposes. So it's nice to kind of have different input in each advisor's, special expertise that could really help you make decisions.
Great, thank you. So now moving a little bit to a different section of being involved, can you please talk about, for those of you that have research or internship experience, can you let us know your experience with that, please?
Yeah, so I did research for a year and a half at under the Department of Psychology, and a way that I got into that was through LAS, the listserv. The internships office sends an email like ever so often about internship opportunities and research opportunities, and I decided to apply to one, and I got it. And we have great programs at UIC, such as LASRI, the Liberal Arts and Sciences Undergraduate Research Initiative, and CURA, the Chancellor's Undergraduate Research Award, which are programs in which students get paid to conduct research. In LASRI, I believe you also are able to complete a research project, and I applied for that, so I managed to get paid for conducting research for youth mentoring, about youth mentoring. In terms of internships, we do have an internships office and other career services that helps with resume, cover letters, and so on. I think one of the greatest things about UIC is the number of organizations we have. As a member of the undergraduate student government, I was able to meet a friend that recommended me to the National Democratic Training Committee, and I was able to intern for that organization because of them.
Right. Further, I would just want to add about the undergrad research website at UIC. So even I did research for about 6 months at UIC, and I found it using the website. So you can use filters and add your major, and you would get a list of all the professors working on different projects, and you could approach them by email. Luckily, coincidentally, the research I wanted to do was being done by my biology professor. So after class, I would, go to their office hours and just talk about it. And I ended up getting one, and yeah, I got paid for that as well.
Great, thank you. I did just put on the chat the research website, which is ure.uic.edu. Anyone has access to this website, so even if you just want to get a look to see what opportunities there are, you can definitely do that. And I really like to encourage students to do research because you are at a research institution, and research isn't just for science students. We have research for all different for every single major and department that we have on campus. So we really encourage you to do that. Great. So, Paul Ash, you talked a little bit about how your biology professor was doing research on that. Can you all talk about experiences that you have with your professors and any connections or relationships that you may have with faculty on campus, please?
Right. So initially in my freshman year, I would be scared because I was never in a class of 200 students, but and it is difficult for a professor to pay individual attention to like children in a 200 student class. But they do have office hours, which is comparatively with less students. So I would make sure that I would go to the regular office hours and just talk to them either via email or just even after class, just get my doubts solved. And this is how they would get to know me. And this year I did apply to a couple of internships. Obviously I could not do them because of COVID, but I needed a letter of recommendations, and that is where my relation with my professors came in handy, because they could write a letter of recommendations for me because they really knew me, because I had spent time in office hour time studying. So it does help if you have a good relation with your professor, and you might be a little hesitant initially, but trust me, professors at UIC, they're very friendly, and you can approach them. They would never, and never think that any question is a stupid question. It just helps you or another student, because a question which you might think is stupid would be another question student as well.
Anyone else want to add anything about faculty?
Yeah, I right now I'm taking anatomy and physiology, which is a kind of a notoriously challenging course at UIC. However, I expressed my concerns for a quiz that I was having with my professor, and the material is a bit difficult for me to study. However, after reaching out to her and kind of explaining my thought process and what was difficult to me and what was kind of challenging. She recommended a lot of resources and kind of gave me a lot of tips and advice, and just reassured me that even just doing bad on one quiz might not be the end of the world. And after making that connection with her, and keeping up with emails and kind of just staying connected, I did pretty well in that quiz. And right now our connection, even though we're online, hasn't suffered. So even if you are entering college at this kind of era of everything being online, still do not hesitate to reach out to your professors. I feel like now more than ever, it's even easier. So the nerve-wrackingness of kind of physically going to office hours isn't there. So I really, really encourage you guys to reach out and kind of make connections with your professors and expressing concerns and everything.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. So, would you like to give some advice to some of our high school students that are in the audience and talk to them about, your transition to UIC and maybe any tips or, what you wish you would have known while you were making your transition from senior year to your freshman year of college?
My biggest advice is to ask questions. I know like I struggled sometimes with asking questions because I didn't know what questions to ask, but there is no such thing as a dumb question. Ask your professor questions about homework, ask your professor questions about what they do. I think this is especially important for people that don't know what major they're interested in, because your professor can give you an idea of like their field and their academic trajectory. Asking your peers and upperclassmen questions about their major can also give you perspective as to like what to expect in terms of classes, their future career goals, and so on. So definitely ask questions. Something else that I definitely recommend is to look at the positive things, take things in stride. I really messed up. Well, I wouldn't say messed up, but I made a lot of mistakes in college. Like I got a D in one of my classes. I pursued a career goal that was not fit for me. And something that I learned from that is to forgive myself and also to be more kind to myself and accept the things that happen and just try to take things as they come. At the same time, like being very, very being balanced about things. Like we are students, but we're also human beings. We have to make sure we're mentally, spiritually, intellectually, physically well before anything else. So definitely prioritize being a human. And yeah, those are a few tips I recommend.
Yeah, so I completely agree with that. And I would just want to add that time management is key, because once you transition from high school to college, you get this sense of independence. But make sure with independence comes responsibility, because it's very easy to, deviate from the path. And the course load, obviously, the level does increase. So you might get overwhelmed with all the stuff, but you shouldn't panic if you do follow a proper schedule, and you will definitely succeed. And there are a lot of apps which can help you. I would mention them in the chat box soon. And yeah, that's what I did. Would not let my work pile up, and just take each day at a time. And yeah, it does help. And then the faculty at UIC, your advisors, professors, they just help. If you are in regular contact with them, they are definitely there to help you.
Thank you so much. So we have about 5 more minutes left in the session, and I want to open it up to the student leaders to share some information just about maybe things that we haven't covered yet. But I did just get a question. So before we do that, someone is asking that they're planning on majoring in political science, but they also want to become a college professor in political science. Should I dual major in education? So our recommendation would be to start off in a track of political science. As you continue to go through, you can speak to advisors, get experience, maybe doing some experience in leadership positions. A lot of our professors get a PhD in their area of interest. And so I think that would kind of be the priority to start off your education in the area that you're interested in, and then go on to pursue a PhD in that area. Along the way, I think it would be helpful if you took some education classes, and your advisor would be happy to recommend some educational classes. However, it is not required for you to do that. Okay, but I do want to open it up for the next 4 minutes for you all to share and highlight some cool things that you're doing that maybe I didn't get to in my questions. Jackie, do you want to get started?
Yeah, so let's see. Obviously I work with LIS as a recruitment leader. I also work at the ID Center. I am the VP of External Relations for the Student Advocacy Coalition, which we advocate for higher education. I am part of a sorority, and that's some of the things I've done.
Jackie, can you maybe let us know how you got involved in your sorority or the Coalition for Higher Education?
Yeah, so actually it was the Uic Involvement Fair, and I know it was virtual this year, but I heard that there were a lot of good clubs still there, and they were taking interest forms and things like that. But it was definitely just me reaching out to organizations, me going to the Involvement Fair and stopping at booths that I thought were interesting to me, even though I had never done them. I never thought I would do Greek life, but I met some of the sororities there, and I was like, okay, this might seem interesting, just kind of finding what you're interested in. Don't be scared just because you thought you would never do it to not reach out or even try to go to things.
Great. Reneen, do you want to share with us about the mentorship program that you're in through through First Generation?
Yeah, so I'm a first generation student, which basically means that you're the first person in your family to go to college and graduate. So if your parents haven't gone to college and gotten a degree, you might be first generation. And so through the first generation mentorship program, students are coupled with a faculty mentor that'll really just serve just that as a mentor. If you have any questions or concerns, or maybe it doesn't even have to be academic. So I was asking my mentor on the best approach that he thought would be to get a job when everything was first transitioning to Corona and COVID times and stuff. And he was kind of just giving me suggestions, and they're really just there to just help you better assimilate to college life, since you really didn't have someone before you that has gone through everything and kind of help you navigate through college. And your mentor doesn't necessarily have to be someone who is doing the same thing that you're studying. Last semester my mentor was a statistics professor, and he would always tell me about doing well in my statistics course, and it was just not it. He was extremely nice, but I have zero interest in statistics, but he was still one of the best mentors that I've ever had. So if you are first generation, I highly, highly recommend you joining the program, because getting a faculty mentor would, only be a benefit to you, and would only serve as a resource for you.
Jocelyn and Palash, please feel free to share your experiences as well. We have plenty of time.
Yeah, I definitely recommend using your advisors, all kinds of advisors, your liberal arts and sciences advisor, your honors college advisor. I use my economics advisor, my minor advisors for sociology and business administration. I even have an advisor at Lattice, the Latin American Recruitment and Educational Services. And this is so valuable because they each have a different perspective. And something that goes along with asking questions is also talking about yourself to your advisors, explaining your goals or your interests. Something that I've learned is that the more I talk about what I want to do, the more people are willing to help me. And that goes with advisors. I've been recommended to certain job postings. I've been asked to send them my resume, told that they would contact someone for networking because I share my goals. And something I love about UIC is how many resources we have. I'm currently working with the Office of External Fellowships for postgraduate goals. And also we have the Student Leadership and Civic Engagement Department, which is a great place to start if you're interested in developing leadership skills, because they have so many programs or want to be more civically engaged. They also have service organizations, or, service opportunities that are promoted through email. So definitely check your email. I believe we have over 300 student organizations. I'm not sure if that's correct though, but we do have a lot of organizations. And one of my go-to rules is to join like a social organization / fun, an academic organization / professional, and a service one. So this year, my professional is economics club. I'm serving as vice president. In terms of my service one, I pledge for Alpha Phi Omega, which is a service fraternity that's co-ed. And in terms of fun, I'm still figuring that out, but definitely I'll say LAS. LAS recruitment team is fun. I love talking. So yeah, that's something I would like to share with y'all.
All right, so I'll talk a little about athletics and sports because that I feel hasn't been covered. Coming from India, I was very fond of cricket, but I was not sure if I would be able to play in the United States. But guess what? UIC had a cricket club, and similarly, it has a lot of clubs like the basketball, badminton, soccer, indoor soccer, outdoor soccer. So the campus recreation facility is one of the best, and I am very I'm a health freak maybe, so I would, in between my classes or after classes, I would just go there and spend a couple of hours. The facilities are amazing. And, even during COVID-19 right now, they are open. They are following all the protocols. We do have intramural leagues once every semester. And that is one of the best ways, to get relaxed because they usually play on weekends. So once you're done with all your academic work on weekdays, you can go on weekends, and it's a great way to meet new people, play, enjoy, and I think you could try that for fun if you're still figuring that out. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I think you all are awesome student leaders, and I'm always very excited to hear about all the great things that you're doing on campus. So I hope that you have empowered and motivated students to do the same once they get to campus. Just a couple of closing things. And if you are interested in applying to UIC, our first year deadlines for early action is November 2nd. And our regular deadline, if you want to come to UIC next fall, is February 1st. If you're a transfer student, if you're interested in attending for spring 2021, our deadline is coming up October 15th. And for the fall, it is April 1st. If you want more information, please go to the admissions website for more application info. We are also here to serve you. So if you want to schedule a one-on-one advising appointment, we are still doing that. They are virtual or over the phone, but we are happy to chat with you and see what your goals are and academic interests and see if they align with UIC. So please go ahead and schedule an individual appointment. Check out our custom view book, all of the things that the students have mentioned. You should be able to click on so that you can get more information on it. Or as always, feel free to email us at lasinfo@uic.edu. Thank you so much for attending our session, and have fun and enjoy the rest of UIC Virtual Day. Goodbye.